Look, I know you don't watch my videos because you think I'm handsome or something. Most of you watch my videos because you could potentially make some money, okay? Though it's not financial advice, guys, I have proven steps to become financially independent, financial freedom in 1 year or less. And this is proven, verified, solidified. I made $30,000 this month. A successful entrepreneur, not a wantrepreneur. Keep watching this video. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another cryptocurrency video, and today we're going to be talking about financial independence, financial freedom, and we're going to do it in a realistic time perspective. 1 year, you got these guys on the internet talking about let's get financially independent in 30 days or less. That is not realistic. You know it's BS, and I know it's BS. So this is going to be a realistic plan that you can actually execute in like the style of all of my videos, or most of them. You're going to get a PDF. So all you have to do is click the link in the description below, go to the website, type in your email address, and you can literally download this PDF right now so you can paste it on your wall, put it on your desk, follow it step by step, because I'm going to give you the micro plan. I'm going to be laying out all the steps from start. If I had $0 right now, what is the exact steps I would take to become financially independent? But before we get started, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the #1 channel on the internet, my name is Alex. Nice to meet you. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the push notification bell so we can get videos like this all the time. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but if you make some money, who cares? I try to keep it down to earth, realistic, back everything up with facts. And I've been in cryptocurrency for 5+ years, and I've been marketing the same amount of time. So you could potentially get some value from this channel. So let's jump right into the video. Now, proven steps to financial freedom in 1 year or less. Again, the PDF is in the link in the description below. All you have to do is click that link and you can easily download it. The exact steps I would take to quit my job and, run a full-time business. I know a lot of you, it's not the money, right? I know a lot of you are struggling, and it's not the exact money that you need. Maybe that's something that you're focused on because potentially you can't pay your bills, or, you want more money so you can have more freedom. But that's the thing I want to get across here, guys. It's more about the freedom, right? And once you start, understanding how the whole system works, it's actually becomes very easy to make money. Very easy to make money. You just have to develop a certain skill set and break it down in a very simple way so that you don't overcomplicate things. And let me explain what I'm talking about. So you guys are essentially the business. So business is like a baby. They reflect who you are as a person. And as you're raising your baby, if you're a horrible human being, your business is going to suck. But if you are actively developing yourself and becoming better, then your business is going to be profitable. Okay, what do I mean by that? I'm sounding crazy. Let's go to the next screen here. So as you can see here, there's problems. Here are some of the biggest problems, and I've dealt with this myself for years. And if I would have solved them earlier, I would have shaved 3 to 4 years off of my whole entire learning curve. I'll be making, probably $5 to $10 million a year right now. Everything would have changed for me if I would have just cut this out. So you could literally save time. Right? Let me tell you about my story a little bit. So, I started an iPhone flipping business, failed miserably, had to get a job, right? I started mining cryptocurrency, made a whole bunch of money, but it wasn't sustainable. Had to start a marketing company. I started a supplement company, and all of these failed, or I made very little money until I started solving these problems right here. These specific problems, pay attention. And these are the biggest problems you're probably dealing with if you try to start a business. Problem number 1, you don't have a realistic strategy to get from point A to B, okay? Most of you guys are wishy-washy. You have, I'm going to make a little bit of money doing this. I'm going to flip some marijuana and make some money. I'm going to make this money over here. And all of that combines to you not getting anything done. It's as simple as that. It's not about having the best technique of making money. It's about sticking to your guns and being the best in that technique. So it doesn't matter which avenue. You can go sell rocks. I'm sure there's people making millions of dollars selling rocks. If you don't believe me, look it up. Does not matter what you sell. People can make money no matter what. Problem 2, you're most likely have shiny object syndrome, which goes into what I was saying, and you can never finish something you start. So maybe you've tried to start a business before and failed. Well, you didn't fail. The truth is you didn't fail. What happened was you gave up, right? So you want to think about this when you're looking to start a business, and the one I'm going to propose to you guys in this video here, stay tuned. I'm going to give you all the marketing, the product, everything, so you can start it for yourself. Okay, the one I'm going to propose to you guys is something you can stick in long term. For sure. And you want to think about that every time you're making a business, right? Which leads me to problem 3. The inability to stick to an idea has caused you to fail. You took a hit on your confidence, and the lack of confidence is making it really hard for you to think long term. So what's happening, and this happened to me, I would make a business, right? It would fail, and I'd be like, it's whatever, man. That business is not profitable. Let me go to something else. Then I'll kind of get in this loop, and this is a specific cycle I'm going to explain. Get in this loop of like failing businesses and then trying to start a new one, and shiny object syndrome. That over there. That guy on YouTube told me to do this. That guy over there told me to do that. And they just I just became a master of none, and I just became kind of good at everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own process, but I had to snap out of the cycle. And what's the cycle? Let's just show you what the cycle is. So the cycle is essentially starting something new because of shiny object syndrome. Maybe somebody motivated you online. Motivation sucks, man. It's all about the long-term perspective because motivation lasts only so long, right? It's about what you really do, putting tires to the road and actually executing something long-term. Motivation it lasts for a week or two, okay? But a real business lasts for years, right? That's the truth, right? So you got to get rid of the shiny object syndrome. But let me just explain to you the loop. So it's shiny object syndrome. Oh, I want to do that business or this business. And then you jump into the inability to think long-term because you quit because it's shiny object syndrome. You had no real motivations to start your business. You had no real like execution plan, and you didn't fail. You quit. No matter what, if you stick something out for long enough, you're going to win. It's called the law of averages. Look up the law of averages. Do some Google, like read something. Law of averages, simply, if you do something long enough, it will hit no matter what. If you play the lotto a quadrillion times, you're going to win the lotto. That's what the law of averages is, which takes me to the next point here. The failure burns a false sense of truth in your mind and lowers your confidence. So that you've failed so many times. It's happened to me. Failed business 1, failed business 2, failed business 3. I failed so many times that, yeah, I was learning a lot from my failures, and this is the truth, but nobody wants to tell you this stuff, right? Everyone says, you have to fail. You have to fail to get success. But eventually, you have to stop failing, right? You have to fail, yes, to learn. But eventually, you have to boss up and skip the level, exit the loop, and stop failing. Okay, you have to start winning. That's the truth, and that's how you make money. And basically, when you fail enough times, there's like a negative feedback loop. Whatever coping mechanisms you guys have, which most of you, your coping mechanism is just starting something new, right? Will add fuel to the fire and restart the cycle. So essentially, your negative coping, you failed the business, so you're like, oh, it's okay, I can start a new one, and you get all this endorphins because you're starting something new, and it's exciting, right? It's exciting, and it starts to loop right back over. That's what I dealt with for 4 years throughout my whole entire journey. You guys know what it feels like being an entrepreneur and not being able to pay bills, and your girlfriend lives with you and you have to think about, oh, how am I going to pay bills this month while my girlfriend goes to work? You know what it feels like feeling like a house dad because of failing businesses? All this could be stopped if you simply jump out of this loop. It's as simple as that. And you can make a serious business. It's actually working for a lot of people. So if I come over here now, keep in mind, like, there's always positives and negatives to everything, right? You know, with every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, this is like a law of thermodynamics. Don't quote me on that. I think I'm right. Law of thermodynamics basically says, is one of the laws, is every reaction is an equal and opposite reaction. So essentially what happens is you're taking these hits to your confidence. As you can look at the graph there, you're taking these smacks from your confidence by losing these businesses. And what happened to me is I was just taking these hits. Man, I didn't feel like I was good enough. Whatever my coping mechanism was telling me, I wasn't good enough. Oh, this business is not for me. Oh, that's not my passion. Whatever the coping mechanism was, I was taking hit to my confidence, but my skills were developing. So remember I told you guys, as long as you stick it out long term, no matter what you do, you're gonna win, right? And my skills were developing. And now that I'm winning, I'm scaling pretty fast. And a lot of you don't even understand the concept of scaling. But basically the overall gist here is if you finish what you start, you break the cycle by sticking to something and you start making money. And this will allow, I know I spelled that wrong, this will allow you to increase your confidence, quit your job, free up your time, and most importantly, scale your business. So once you get that little first, like kind of like a shark that they smell the blood, or like a wolf, he smells the blood. He gets that first hint, then he starts going crazy and all this confidence starts building up and all this energy, right? Because dang, you can make money on the internet. Dang, I made 3,000 this month. All right, let's take it to 10,000. And it gives you this confidence because if you keep losing it over and over again, you know, you're never going to think it's ever going to work and you think it's just a big scam, right? But if you actually make money, things change, right? Now, when starting a business and starting to, actually, become financially independent and achieve financial freedom, it's going to be really hard. Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. It's going to be extremely hard. It's going to put you to your wit's end. There's going to be nights where you're crying, right? There's going to be days where you want to give up completely. But keep in mind, guys, the alternative route, right? And this is a quote from Kendrick Lamar. My biggest fear is not feeling accomplished.
My biggest fear is not feeling accomplished.
I want you to think about, you on your deathbed when you didn't, make that business, right? You're literally about to die, right? You're literally about to die, okay? And I want you, if you know anybody, and I'm not trying to go into this subject because I know it's a little emotional, but if you know anybody that's going to ask them a question, what's your biggest piece of advice? And I'm telling you, 99% of them, or maybe that's a wrong percentage, but a lot of them, they're going to say that they wish they would have done something, regret. They wish they would have, pursued their dreams. And you don't want to have that big pain. So yeah, you have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. You got to go through your hero's journey. But that's a smaller pain than that huge sense of regret you're going to get if you don't do it. All that pain of trying to get a job when you get out of college, all that pain of not making enough money, so you can't pay like a bill and you get embarrassed in front of everybody, and that pain of, you having to ask people for money if you can't pay your bill. All that pain is way worse, in my opinion, than just fixing your life, becoming a good human being, and sticking it out and making a business. That's the truth. I think the pain of all that negativity is far less than actually making a serious business and sticking and exiting that feedback loop and finishing what you started. Which brings me to my next point. Scaling is everything in business. A lot of you want the millions of dollars, you want to make a whole bunch of money, you want the Lamborghini and the houses and stuff, but you don't want to start off from step 1 and step 2. So in this video here and this whole entire thing, it's going to be scaling you to success, so we can get that first hint of success and it starts motivating you and giving you that confidence. You guys always wonder why people get so much work done. You're like, how does Elon Musk do so much? It's because he scaled his way to doing that. He wasn't doing that on day one. He was doing a little bit, got some success, did more, got some success, and then next thing you know, he's working 16-hour days, right? So you have to make $100 before you make $1,000. You have to make $1,000 before you make $10,000. So the techniques we're talking about in this video is going to be kind of like step 1, step 2, and you could take this all the way to $100,000 a month. Okay, you don't need to touch step 3 and 4, and maybe I'll make a video in the future. You don't need to touch that until you're making at least $50,000 to $100,000 a month easily. Okay, but you got to scale your way up. You got to take short steps, win the race every single time. So just to give you guys an overview of what business is, so that you can become financially independent, right? This is all to your financial. You got to make a business, right? Even if your business is only making $50K a year, that's what you call financial independence, right? So business basics, you got to learn a little bit about it. So let me break down this business for you. So for example, any business in the world, it's very simple. They have a product. What are you going to sell? And they have marketing. Who are you going to sell it to? If you can solve those 2 problems, everything else falls in line. That's pretty straightforward. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go to the next slide. So now I'm going to give you an opportunity here, and this is what I've been successfully doing. Like I told you guys, started like 5, 10 businesses. They all failed, okay? And this one right here has been working for me, okay? So not only been working for me, but it's been very lucrative. And I know a lot of people on my channel know what I'm going to talk about here. It's cryptocurrency, okay? The beginning stages, okay? We're so early, okay? As you can see there's $90 trillion worth of broad money in the world. Basically, if you understand what broad money is, it's liquid cash. You can move it from point A to B. So like example, housing equity is not considered broad money because you have to like put a lien on the house. Broad money is like savings accounts, checkings accounts, anything you can get in and out of very quickly. Okay. There's about 90 trillion in the whole entire world. Okay. Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is a world currency. So anybody in the world can access it. Okay. In crypto right now, there's only $250 billion in the market cap. Right? It's basically all of crypto together is worth about 250 billion. That's 0.28% of the world. Now, this is not a video to convince you about cryptocurrency per se. I'm just convincing you about the market opportunities, the industry to make money, right? Because if you buy crypto, that's technically increasing the value of your currency, which is not cash flow. My goal for you guys to become financially independent is to get both. You have to get cash flow, and you also have to get the increased value or some type of investment that you make that will make money on your money. Right? Have the little money work for you. That's essentially what most people in crypto are doing. They're making money on their money. They're buying one Bitcoin and the value increases by 20%. They just made 20% on their money. But if you don't have cash flow, your system's messed up. You're not complete. You have 50% of the equation. You have to have both. Cash flow is basically a certain amount of money that's coming in per month. Okay, you have to develop cash flow and you have to make the investments. So I'm just showing you guys, you don't even have to buy one cryptocurrency at all. You don't have to buy anything. But look at the market opportunity, only 0.28%, so less than 1%, 1/3 of 1% of the world's money, the world's broad money. And there's more money than that. I'm not gonna even dive into that, but there is definitely less than 0.28. But for the simplicity's sake, less than 1% of the world's in crypto. So as it gradually develops more adoption, if you entrench a business now, if you make a business now that develops cash flow, okay, if you're the first to the show, this creates massive advantages being first to create something in a great industry. So if the industry, people start catching on, then it becomes 2%, 3%, 10%, 11%, 20% of the world start getting into cryptocurrency, of the world's broad money. It's not the world. This is completely different. I want you guys to understand that. Very, very conservative guesstimate that we're talking about here. The 0.28%, very conservative. It's definitely less than that. But if you are first to the show and you create a business, kind of like what Google did, kind of like what Facebook did. Facebook wasn't the first, but they did it better than anybody else. But all these companies that create these huge strategic advantages. Now, the reason why they're so dominant, Google is like 90% of the internet right now, is because of something called McAfee's Law. Okay, the law states that an effective network is proportional to the square of number of connected users in a system. What that basically means, and I'm gonna put it very simple for you guys, is that once you entrench your business and people start, getting onto your platform or your program, or you start, they start watching you on YouTube or your whatever you guys decide to do in this business, right? They're going to tell their friends. And if there's 10 people watching this YouTuber and there's only one person watching that YouTuber, this 10 people, it's going to be more likely that more people are going to watch the 10 people. It's just going to become not only more likely, the growth is going to go crazy. A good explanation of this is, for example, like Google and Bing, right? Bing is like less than 1%. Obviously, Google's like 90%. So if there's 90% of people using Google, then the friend that doesn't have a computer, when he does get a computer, what do you think is going to go, Bing or Google? It's going to go to Google, right? And that's why they have these huge dominating, platforms, and they're technically like monopoly. A lot of people consider them not monopolies because of this law, right? And it's actually, this law it's crazy. You could dive deeper. I have an academic research paper that I give people in my course, thefundamentalsecrets.com, dives a little bit more depth. You guys know I sell a course and everything like that. If you do want to apply, by the way, go ahead and click, the link in the description below, apply. I'm not letting everybody in, but if you do want to, go ahead and click that link. But basically, there was two networks back in the day, about 50 to 100 years. I don't remember the exact date. Don't quote me. But there was a network, and the network was superior to the other. But the fact that the other one just had more adoption is the one that we use now. So it doesn't even matter if a business is better, right? So if you're competing with someone and their business is better than yours, but you have more users, you still have a better chance of winning just because you have more users and because of this law. And basically the whole gist here is I'm trying to tell you, it's really important to get early into things. And in cryptocurrency, it's very early. So how do you make money and create this financial freedom? Like I told you guys, business is a product and selling the product. That's all it is. That's every business in the world. They have a product and they sell it to people. So you have to solve these two factors. Now, this is the first one solved for you without any money, without any technical skills. You simply have to sell other platforms' products. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So to onboard new users in crypto, you can make it. So let's say I hypothetically get my friend into cryptocurrency and you guys jump into cryptocurrency education. So I get my friend in. Coinbase alone will give you $50 initially for Coinbase Earn. And then if they put in $100 worth of Bitcoin, you get 10 bucks. That doesn't sound like a lot, but let's watch the numbers play out. It gets crazy. Okay. There's other cryptocurrency exchanges that you can get them on if they want to get to another cryptocurrency, which is a 10%. That's kind of this industry standard, right? Industry standard about 10%. I don't use those too much because it gets crazy. There's so many exchanges, but you could monetize them more, right? And it's really cool for the Brave browser because they don't have to spend anything to sign up. It's 100% free, so there's literally no reason why you can't get that $7, right? If they buy a Trezor or Ledger, which is like these little hardware wallets in crypto, if you guys know what crypto is, these little hardware wallets, you make 10% of all sales. Amazon affiliates, okay? So, sometimes I talk about books. Sometimes you could buy this mic on Amazon. If somebody wants to follow your steps, there's this cool website called kit.co. Just type in kit.co, and this website will make you a landing page. It'll make you a landing page for free. You don't have to pay anything. And you can put your Amazon affiliate links on there. And then when someone buys it, you actually get 10%, or it's anywhere from 5 to 10% of the whole cart value. So if they spend $1,000, you get an easy 50 to $100, right? That all this adds up, and you're gonna understand what I'm saying. So also sponsorships. The other day I got paid $3,000 to make a video, right? And when you're starting off and you're small, you can get paid easily $200 for sponsorships, as well as YouTube earnings. Obviously, right now I'm making $3,200 a month for YouTube earnings, and it's because I got a bigger channel. But when you're starting, that could be some way to monetize it. There's so many. The thing is when you're doing this one task of creating an audience, there's so many ways to monetize them, right? And then another example is I sell a course. Now, my course is a little bit expensive, but if you were to sell somebody else's course like mine, you guys can sell mine, you can make $600 per sale, okay? So if you do the average, if you get one person into crypto and you get them on all these platforms, you can make anywhere from $300 to $500 per person. And this is proven and solidified from the techniques that I have done over time. I'm doing everything I'm telling you right now, right? So I can verify that it's easy to make $300 to $500, okay? Now watch how the numbers play out. That's $300 to $500 per person. So how marketing works, and I know a lot of people are gonna get discouraged and be like, oh, I don't wanna put my face out. You don't even need to put your face out there. You can make videos without your face. There's so many YouTubers so big right now that in cryptocurrency, that right now the modern investor does not show his face. It's just his voice, a screen, and some tabs. And he's just consistent and beats everybody, right? Because it doesn't matter how good you are at marketing. The only thing that matters, remember I told you guys from the beginning, is sticking it out. Because while everybody else is giving up, you're sticking it out and you take all of their market share. So like, for example, the yellow line there, and this is a year, you're gonna be consistently putting out content and just winning. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna get nothing in the beginning. The blue line's the amount of followers you get, right? You're gonna get nothing in the beginning, and eventually it's gonna go up and then it's gonna drop, right? Because the life is ups and downs. You guys know this, cycle of life, right? And then eventually there's gonna be a snowball effect, and this happened to me, and this happens to every cryptocurrency YouTube channel. We just have so much content, so consistent. People look at you as the authority, and it goes parabolic. And then this separation here, now when you make one video, you get so much value. Like right now, I estimate that if I put out one video, I make like anywhere from like 500 to $1,000 off of just an assortment of things, off of YouTube, this other thing, whatever. I make a lot of money for video, but at first you got to do it for free. You got to do it for free so that you can get to that point, right? So how do you really create financial independence, right? Financial freedom. Create an audience, right? And this is very straightforward. Find a platform that you want to market on. So you could do YouTube, you could do anything. You could even do TikTok nowadays and make some money, right? I like YouTube because it's educational content and because I know a little bit about the algorithm, and I think it's the best, platform when it comes to long form content. When it comes to talking about something for a very long time, people typically go to YouTube, okay? Learn a niche. So not only do you have to get like a niche, and this can happen for anything really, but if you're finding a niche in crypto, you got to find a niche within a niche. So like something specific that you make that's different, like a signature sauce. You don't even have to be an expert. You just have to be better than the people you're onboarding. And considering the learning curve of crypto, people don't know anything. People don't even know the properties of money. People don't even know how the current internet works. So you just need to read like 10, not even, you could read 3 books, 5 books, and you'll be ahead of like 90% of people. But I would recommend getting really good and maybe read 1 book first and then start. And then over time, get like 20 books under your belt in cryptocurrency so you know it better than everybody else. And then you need to find your signature sauce. You need to find your niche within your niche, all right? Or maybe it's your style of videos, maybe it's your comedy, maybe it's the value you bring. I try to give you guys a little bit of both, a little bit of everything with the editing and everything. You guys see my sauce, it's a little bit different from everybody else, right? And then consistently put out content like that yellow line that we were talking about. Consistently, relentless for a year. Don't stop. It creates momentum. People will start becoming familiar with you. All your friends that are watching your content, seeing you putting out all this video, all these videos and everything like that, they're gonna be like, "Wow, he's the crypto expert." So one time in the year when they're like, "You know what? I think I'm gonna get in crypto." Who do you think they're gonna come to? They're gonna come to you. That's the whole point. You want to be familiar in people's head. Maybe they might not like you now, but when they want to get into crypto, you're gonna be ready for them. If you guys understand what I'm saying, you're gonna look like the professional, the expert, right? They'll become familiar with you. They'll start to look at you as the expert. And then all you have to do is a simple equation in marketing. Increase your quality of your videos and increase the amount of times you put it out per week. Right now, I just recently increased the heck out of my videos quality. You can see from my past edits, my editing is getting better. And then essentially, I'm trying to pump out more videos. It's that simple. And then, I know it's hard. I know a lot of people, oh man, I'm scared of the camera. Oh man, I'm scared of what people say, negative comments, whatever. If you can get by all of that, I think that, why are you going to do all this work? I think the pain of not doing it is greater. Let's do the math. So this is where it all plays out, right? All of this adds up, and I'm not joking. So the average US salary is about $60,000 a year, $56,516 a year. If you only onboard 150 people, there's 365 days in a year. So you're talking about less than, one person every 3 days. We're talking about like one person every 3 days, just about that. You get one person every 3 days, and we make $400 per person. That's $60,000 a year, okay? And the great part about that's gonna really blow your mind, is that not only are you making complete, $60,000 a year, you're making average salary, and you're doing it on your own terms. You're doing it from the computer, from the comfort of your home, financial independence. You get to travel anywhere. I can go outside right now and make a, video of me walking. I can go, read a book. I can go do whatever I want right now. Anything. If my parents are in the hospital because of some issue, and they feel horrible, I'm not in a job. I don't have to take, leave from the job. I don't have to give them an excuse. There's no sick days for me. I can do literally whatever I want, whenever I want, right? And you're making the $60K a year. Financial freedom to make your own decisions. You can scale up to anything you want. It's really at that point, if you make a successful business making 40 to 60K a year, at that point, it's just a question of getting better. And as you get better, you make more money. So you can scale it up to as far as you want. In a job, you have a set schedule with a set hourly pay. No matter how good you get, maybe you'll get a raise, but you can't scale it to $350,000 a year. You can't scale it to, $100,000 a month. You can't do any of that, right? You have to make your own business to do that. And you're gonna have a fulfilled life. So ultimately, all of this stuff is not about money, guys. It's never been about money for me. It's never, when I was using money as a motivation is when I failed the most, okay? For me, it's living a fulfilled life, okay? Being able to do the things that you've always wanted to do, that you've dreamt of, travel to other places of the world, right? Help people. Fulfillment is why we're all in this, not the money, but fulfillment. And if you use that as a driving motivator, you're going to be able to get through all these hurdles And all those pains of having to be a great person, having to, put out high quality content, having to develop your people skills, having to learn sales, having to learn marketing, all those pains will be outweighed by not having the regret of not doing what you wanted to do with your life. It's as simple as that. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Quick announcement, guys. Fundamental Secrets is not open to the public. You have to apply. thefundamentalsecrets.com. Go ahead and check that out. If you want access to the course, I'll give you a call, walk you through it. But that's it for this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.